Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning.
All right. I'm going to call for announcements, and then I'm going to go ahead and the other individuals that are waiting to watch this into the Zoom hearing. But I want to make sure that we have our primary players making announcements before we do all that. So at this time, court calls. Cause number 25-151 DCC V dash 00053, State of Texas versus Malcolm Terrell Tanner. I can have appearances and announcements.
Andrew Brown and Lauren McGee, present for the state of Texas, Your Honor.
Mr. Tanner, there you go. All right.
Dr. Malcolm Tanner, present.
All right. Mr. Tanner, do you have any representation today?
No, proceed.
Okay. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
Okay. All right. At this time, I'm going to let the remainder of the individuals in the waiting room in. Once they are in, I will be muting them on my side. I don't want any accidental overlapping. We have a reporter that's going to have a hard time if we have too many people talking, so to speak. If there's anybody that's in that needs to be a witness at some point in time, we can cross that bridge when we get there, but I'll take care of the mics for the remaining now 20 people that are in the waiting room.
Your Honor, can I say something if you don't mind?
Mr. Tanner, what?
Yeah, before we proceed to the merits, I don't know if you want to do this with the people in the room or now, but there is some procedural issues that's been going on here.
If you're making any objections procedurally and or any merit evidentiary objections or anything like that, I mean, it's open court, so I'll go ahead and let everybody in. We're
Okay.
also streaming live on YouTube right now because it is also open court. I appreciate that, Mr. Tanner. Thank you. Got individual on here The only moniker is ALD4.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure how to change that name, Your Honor. That's what I logged in as. I could state my name for the record.
Please do.
It's Investigator Alexander Dubow, Administrative Division.
Okay,
Texas.
just wanted to make sure that we weren't looking at another attorney that needed to be on the record. I'm going to mute you for now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. The court has called the case at this time, State of Texas versus Malcolm Terrell Tanner. This is brought to us on a, excuse me. I'm hearing for temporary injunction. This is the state's motion, but before we get into that, Mr. Tanner had indicated that he wished to make some objections to, I'm not sure exactly what, but I'm going to allow him to do that before we get started. Mr. Tanner, if you want to go ahead and go.
Yeah, before we all proceed, I just want to say I'm the defendant in this case. So I just want to say I respectfully want to raise the threshold of procedural issues that affect whether this case should move forward today. This action is the duplicative of a cause number 25-151-D CCV-00050, which involved the same parties, the same statutes, the same alleged conduct, that prior cases remain active with same post-trial motions currently pending for this court today. Also, while these motions are remaining unresolved, the state filed the second action, obtained an ex parte temporary order that expands the scope of the injunction relief and sets today's hearing. Additionally, for clarity, for the record, I was not served or notified of this case until December 16th, after the temporary restraining order had already been issued and shortly before today's hearing. I have filed a plea in abatement and a motion to stay and respectfully request the court to address those thresholds procedural issues before proceeding to the merits. And if the court elects to proceed, I will basically object and respectfully preserve all procedural and due process objections. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tanner. I appreciate that. First of all, I want to clarify for the record, as well as for your own sake, Mr. Tanner, the two causes are very similar. They're not duplicative because they involve different parts, different lots of real property. So it's not the same actual real property that's being considered in both cases. If you'll give me a few minutes, I'm going to go ahead and review your request, your motion for an abatement, as well as the plaintiff's response, and then I'll make a ruling on that. All right, the court has reviewed the defendant's emergency plea and abatement and motion to stay, as well as the response from the state. At this time, the court denies the defendant's emergency plea and abatement and motion to stay. We'll go ahead and proceed today. Mr. Tanner, I do note your objection, and I want to make sure that the record is clear that you're objecting under the grounds that you have stated in your emergency plea and abatement and motion to stay.
Yes.
All right, at this time, the state may proceed with its presentation.
Yes, Your Honor. Before we get started, I would like to inquire as to whether Mr. Tanner has any witnesses that are currently in the virtual room. Because if so, we would like to be invoking the rule.
Mr. Tanner, we have a large number of individuals in the room, in the virtual room with us. There's nobody actually in my room with me. Probably nobody in your room with you, but many people in the virtual room. Do you intend to call any of these individuals as witnesses today?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
Which ones? Can you name them?
I will be calling Chastity Ray, Carrie Thomas, Latoya Treats, Raheem.
Hold on. Let's go a little bit slower so I can
All right.
make sure that I got them all. Chastity Ray,
Carrie Thomas,
was that Gary or
Carrie,
Carrie? Okay.
Latoya Treats,
Okay.
Raheem Slayton, Anthony Lanes, Jasmine Tyree Bradford, Juanita Hunt,
Are some of these individuals logged on as Zoom user?
let me check. That's a possibility, yes.
Okay. I realize that these are individuals and so they have individual testimony, but are some of these individuals' testimony going to be reflective of others' testimony?
I honestly don't know, Your Honor.
Okay. The only reason I'm asking Mr. Tanner is because I want to make, there are two that are in here as Zoom users and need to either figure out if they're two of the ones that you're calling or not. Did you say Tanya Reed was one of the ones you're going to call?
Tanya Reed, yes.
Okay. I did not get them all because I was trying to catch them all. I've
No, I
got
wasn't done fully.
I'm sorry?
Oh, I wasn't done. We still
I
have
understand. No, I understand. I wanted to see which ones I missed first, okay?
Yes, sir.
I know I've got Chastity Ray, Carrie Thomas, Latoya Treats, excuse me, Raheem Slayton, and Tanya Reed. Who else did you notice already?
Let me go again. Anthony Lanes,
Anthony Lanes,
Anthony Lane,
Lane, okay,
Andre Bradford,
okay,
Brandy Keenan,
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 okay,
Jasmine Bradford,
all right. Is that it?
and then we will have Juanita Hunt.
Okay.
And then there is Nisha.
Nisha.
Nisha. I don't have a Nisha B. I don't have a last name.
Okay. Um, the state is calling investigator.
Yes, Your Honor. We were calling Deputy Fielder and Investigator DeVoe.
Okay. All right.
DeVoe.
I would like anybody whose name was mentioned just now to unmute your microphones for a moment. I know that's a lot of you. Okay, Anthony Lane, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
Great, I'm great.
Bradford Andre, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Harry Thomas. Nisha B.
Good morning.
We got to get you all unmuted so that you can swear that you'll tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in front of me.
Good morning, Judge.
Exciting things.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Okay. Those of you that were named, I'm going to need to be able to see your faces as well. Can you get on camera?
Since I got to get on camera.
Yes, ma'am. I've got to be able to see your faces for you to take the oath. And then later, whenever you're testifying, I'll need to be able to see you as well.
Your Honor, not to interrupt, I may have missed Mrs. Ashley Nadeki
YDK.
and Miss Nadeke, I'm sorry, and Miss Donna Watson. Sorry for interrupting.
Okay. All right. If your name was called, I need you unmuted and on the camera. And I'm going to have you raise your right hand for me. And that includes, of course, Agents Fielder and Dubois. Each of you swear and affirm that the testimony you present today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may lower your hands. I'm going to make 2 breakout rooms, and I'm going to put state's witnesses in one, and I'm going to put defense witnesses in the other. You are not to talk to each other in the breakout rooms about your testimony. You can talk about anything else. You can talk about the weather, the Cowboys, the Saints, the Twins. I don't care what you talk about, but you can't talk about your testimony, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir. I guess I was sorry.
Give me a second.
Okay.
Is it okay for us to go back on mute?
Yes, you can go back on mute at this time.
This fucking camera on. Where's the juice at, buddy? Where's that? Show me. Oh.
Make some more. We need to make some more.
What's these juices right here? Hold on.
We need to make some more.
Make some
We
more.
need to make some more.
Oh.
Okay, I'm about to open these breakout rooms. If you are a witness and you are going to testify, you need to move into that breakout room until we move you out, okay? If you are not going to testify and you are not a witness and you're simply an observer, then you do not have to move to that breakout room. Everybody is assigned a room. That's just the nature of how this works. But that doesn't mean you have to go to it if you are not testifying. But if you are testifying, I need you to move to that room at this time, as you are all under the rule. The rule states that you cannot hear each other's testimony. You cannot talk to each other about each other's testimony. That goes for state's witnesses as well as defense witnesses. That's everybody. So we're going to do that at this time, okay?
Sorry, can you send me back to the break room?
You should have an option to join. I can't forcefully send you there, but you should have an option to join. There you go. All right, Devendra Karuth, are you going to testify or are you simply watching the proceedings?
Watching the proceedings, Your Honor.
Okay, you may stay where you are. There's an individual that's only identified as Zoom user. Could I have you state your name for the record real quick? Sir or ma'am, you're only identified as Zoom user. Can I have you state your name for the record real quick?
Is that me? I think I have my name up there.
Now that, yes, Erica Marshall,
Yes, sir.
are you going to be testifying or simply watching?
Oh, no, just watching.
Okay, you stay right where you're at, then you're good to go.
Thank you.
There's a Pia Johnson. Pia Johnson. So you've muted, but I need to know whether you're testifying or simply watching. Mr. or Mrs. Johnson, I need to know whether you're testifying or simply watching. Ernest Garcia, are you testifying or watching?
Watching, Your Honor. I'm with the Office of the Attorney General.
All right. Two different Pia Johnsons now. Testifying or watching, Mr. or Mrs.
Watching.
Watching, okay, you're good to go.
Thank you.
Marty Baker, are you watching or testifying? Okay, Marty Baker, are you watching or testifying?
He is my investigator. He's just watching, Judge. This is Sarah Stogner.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Stogner. I've heard the name, but have not met the man. So I think I met the man once and then forgot the name, something like that. Sorry about that, Mr. Baker. Okay,
Can you hear me, Judge?
I can hear you now.
Yes, sir. I'm just observing. I have my everything on mute.
All righty, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Mr. Brown, you may call your first witness.
The state will call Deputy Fielder to the stand.
All right, Mr. Fielder, you're muted.
I'm here, Judge.
Mr. Brown, you may begin.
Hey, Deputy, go ahead and state your name for the record for me.
Clinton Dane Fielder.
Now, where do you work?
I'm a deputy sheriff for the Loving County Sheriff's Office.
And how long have you worked there?
6.5, a little less than 7 years.
And you're a licensed peace officer in the state of Texas.
Yes, sir.
What are some of your responsibilities as deputy sheriff?
To respond to 911 calls, emergency calls for service, investigate crimes against the laws of the state of Texas.
All right, Mr. Brown, if you'll pause for one moment. We had a late joining Zoom user. Are you testifying or simply observing?
Observing, Judge.
All right,
Deontay
thank you.
Hinton back on.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I just need to make sure, okay? You can observe all you want to. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Brown.
Now, Deputy, as part of your role in investigating, are you familiar with Mr. Malcolm Tanner?
Yes, sir.
Now, are you familiar with the properties that Mr. Malcolm Tanner has purchased in Loving County?
Yes, sir.
How many properties has he purchased that you're aware?
There's 2 separate purchases with 3 pieces of property.
All right. And have you investigated both properties?
Yes, sir.
Now, let's start with the first property. I just want to give a little bit of background on this. Now, are you familiar with that piece of property?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And was there a prior court case involving that property?
Yes, sir.
And as far as you know, was there an injunction put in place on that first piece of property?
Yes, sir.
And was, as part of those proceedings, was there a temporary injunction kind of during the course of that case before it was finalized?
Yes, sir.
And round about what time period did that cover? if you recall?
I don't know exact dates.
Well, roundabout month.
Would have been through the months of November and December.
And during the course of that preliminary injunction, as far as you are aware, what did Mr. Tanner do with the individuals that were on his property as part of that first case?
The trailers that were on the first piece of property were moved to the first property that was under the injunction. They were moved to the new piece of property that was purchased by Mr. Tanner.
And was this before December of 2025, this month?
Yes, sir.
And actually, I'll go back to that. But let's talk about this second piece of property that's subject to today's hearing. Where is it located? Roundabout.
It's located east of the current property, a little bit northeast of the current property. It's probably about 300 yards to the east.
Now, have you been to this second piece of property?
I have driven by it. I have driven around it. I have not been on that property at all. I've been beside it, been around.
But have you been able to see, across the property? Obviously, we're talking about West Texas. You can see pretty far.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Can you go ahead and describe to the court that piece of property from just your visuals, what you're able to see?
It's just flat scrub brush land that abuts up to a pipeline clearing and a oil field location and a oil field lease road, power line access road.
And are there any structures on this property that you're aware of?
On the new property or the old property?
The new property.
On the new property. Doesn't appear to be any permanent structures, but there are RVs and trailers and cars.
And as far as you are aware, is there a sewage infrastructure on this piece of property?
Not to my knowledge.
Do you know if there's any running water on this property?
Not to my knowledge.
Your Honor, may I share my screen in order to share my exhibits with the witness to authenticate and admit?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm gonna send you a request to allow me to share my.
Yeah. Sorry about that. There you go.
All good. All right, Deputy, my screen.
Yes.
And do you recognize the picture that's in front of you?
Yes, sir.
No, what is it a picture of?
It's pictures of pipeline markers
And where are these pipeline markers?
adjacent to his property.
Okay. And so
The property that we're speaking about.
And so this land that moves out further from these pipeline markers, is that his land?
No, it directly in front across that across the roadway and all that, it is not.
Okay. So, but the land to the left over there.
To the left, it's a pipeline clearing, so I don't even know that property is that's right there, but it's adjacent to that.
Okay. So his property is adjacent to this. Okay.
Yes.
Your Honor, this is part of a kind of a bulk group of exhibits. There's about 4 pictures. Are you okay if I share each of these, authenticate it with the witness, and then admit them all in bulk?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing my screen for just a second so that I can move on to the next exhibit. That was exhibit 1. screen once again. Now, Deputy, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
And what is this a picture of?
Can you speak up?
What is this a picture of?
It's a picture of going out towards Tanner's original property. That's a pipeline marker and the pipeline to the right of the picture. And that's going out towards the property from the previous injunction.
All right. And how do you recognize this picture?
And I'm the one that took it.
And I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen for this. I'm going to move on to the next picture. Okay, we're going to go ahead and mark those as exhibit 1 and 2. And do those pictures fairly accurately depict the state of Mr. Tanner's second property?
No.
They do not. Okay, what is different about these pictures and Mr.
The property that's in question is has trailers and it's been driven over. It's been improved on, or cleared, I would say. Not really improved on, but it's of the same area. Yes.
Okay, so it's in the same area. Is the land barren on this property?
Yes. Other than just scrub brush and stuff.
Okay, so other than the clearing of this scrub brush that's on the property, this land in these pictures is identical to the land on Mr. Tanner's second property. Is what I'm understanding. Right. And these pictures fairly inaccurately depict the pictures that you had taken, because obviously these are computer copies.
Yes.
Okay, it's going to move to admit exhibits 1 and 2.
Objection, Mr. Tanner?
No.
Okay, they're admitted then.
So, Deputy, part of your investigation, did you review Mr. Tanner's social media?
Yes.
What platforms have you looked at?
Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Those are the main 3.
Wow. And what did you find when you looked at his social medias?
An assortment of posts dating back to last year, describing or offering free political homes or homes for sale, or not for sale, but just free political homes on property.
And in some of the posts, did he describe it as free homes, not necessarily just free political homes, correct?
Yes.
Now I'm going to share my screen once again with exhibit 3. I will be renumbering this on the record. I'll be renumbering this before I submit to the court. Share my screen. One moment. All right, Deputy, can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, and do you recognize this this picture?
Yes.
And what is it?
It's social media post portraying Malcolm Tanner, that he's giving out property for free.
All right.
And then it has a description in the bottom of describing how you can contact him.
All right. And what is the name of the Facebook page that is posting this?
Dr. Malcolm Tanner.
And who is the male individual in this picture?
Malcolm Tanner.
And what is the number of, you see at the bottom right of this exhibit, what's the number of likes on this exhibit?
671.
All right. So, does this document fairly and accurately capture the post as you originally saw it?
Yes, I believe it was a video.
Correct, but obviously for
Yeah, but yes, sir. Yeah, that's how it originally comes up when you find it on social media.
I'm going to move to admit exhibit 3.
Any objection, Mr. Tanner?
No.
All right, exhibit 3 is entered.
Go ahead and stop sharing that screen. Now, I am also going to show you what I am now going to be marking as exhibit 4. This is a video. I'm going to try and share my screen on this. There may be a little bit of difficulty. All right, Deputy, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. And what is this a capture of?
It is a social media video.
Okay. And does this look like it's coming from Facebook?
Yes.
And who is the male in the middle of this capture right here?
Malcolm Tanner.
Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and skip to about 30 seconds into this video.
Okay.
And I'm going to play a short section of it. Okay. I'm going to stop there. Deputy, were you able to hear what Mr. Tanner was saying in this video?
I was not.
Okay. I guess it was coming across a little grainy. But you have reviewed this video before.
I have seen it. Yes.
Okay. And does Mr. Tanner in this video say that we give homes away here?
I, without reviewing it, I can't exactly testify to that.
Okay.
If there's a way to turn it up and maybe I can rehear it.
Yes, I could try to turn it up some. Not sure how effective it'll be over Zoom, but I'm going to try.
We can't hear it at all.
No, I can't hear it at all.
You can't hear it? Okay. All right. Now, Deputy, 1 second. I apologize. Are you aware of Mr. Tanner, his recent posts on social media?
Yes.
And in these recent posts, as of early December of this year, has he been posting?
There have been posts on his social media pages.
Okay. And are you aware of a post on his social media in early December of this year where he is saying, we are giving free homes away?
Yeah, I don't remember any specifics about it.
Okay. Your Honor, may I share my screen to refresh the witness's recollection?
Yes, but I'm also going to just briefly take about a 2 to 5 minute recess. I've got to talk to my court coordinator about something unrelated to this. So we're going to be in recess until you can see me again.
Okay.
All right, we're back on the record in this matter. Waiting to get started. We'll wait until we can see and hear Mr. Tanner again. I want to note for everybody's information, at this point, if anybody logs on to the Zoom, we're in the middle of this and I'm not adding them. However, anybody who may wish to watch this, this is a public hearing. Anybody may watch, and as such, if that is being streamed on YouTube, and I'm providing in the chat box the link to the YouTube for individuals that may want to log on but are not able to get on because the court's not adding any additional participants at this time, but you can watch it live streamed. All right, Mr. Tanner is back. Mr. Brown, you may go ahead and recommence your presentation.
Yes, sir. Deputy, you investigated the first property as well, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did the first property, to your knowledge, have sewage infrastructure?
No, sir.
Does the second property have any sewage infrastructure to your knowledge?
No, sir.
Objection, Your Honor.
What's the basis of the objection, sir?
I don't think Mr. Fielder is a licensed inspector for sewage.
I appreciate the objection. Form of question was to the best of your knowledge, so I'll go ahead and allow it. You may answer the question, Mr. Fielder.
Can you restate the question?
I believe you already answered that one, Your Honor.
Okay.
Now, did the first property have any homes despite advertising them?
Not to my knowledge.
Now, does the second property have homes despite advertising on social media, free homes?
Not to my knowledge.
So the same problem is existing on both properties.
Yes.
Now, are there individuals living on his second piece of property?
Yes.
Around about how many?
I would say less than 20.
Now, are there children on this property?
Yes, I believe so.
Do you know why these people are coming to Mr. Tanner's second property?
They were told they were going to be given a free home, and people came out here.
Objection, Your Honor. I don't think Mr. Fielder lives on that property to give an opinion on how somebody else got there.
I take the objection in the form of lacking personal knowledge, and it is sustained.
Deputy Fielder, when someone offers a free home, what would you expect?
A house.
Would you expect, 4 walls and a roof?
Yes.
Maybe be able to flush your toilet effectively?
Yes.
Would you expect insulation in your house?
Yes.
Would you expect proper sewage disposal?
Yes.
And water.
Ms. Johnson, I'll need you to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and mute you. I don't want any cross contamination of the testimony.
Okay. And so just to summarize, Deputy, there are people who are living on this property, right?
Yes.
Property that has no sewage infrastructure, as far as you know.
Yes.
And people typically use the restroom, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. They generate human waste.
Yes.
And that waste has to go somewhere.
Yes.
And again, No septic or plumbing anywhere on this property as far as you know.
Not to my knowledge.
Pass the witness.
And Mr. Tanner, at this time, you may ask questions of the witness. You don't have to if you don't want to, but you may if you want to.
Mrs. Fielder, how long have you been on the police force, sheriff's department in Loving County?
Well, a little bit less than 7 years.
Okay. And you are earlier speaking on investigating. That's part of your job.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What day did you start investigating Dr. Malcolm Tanner's property?
I believe the first call that I received on this was January 3rd, 2025.
January 3rd, 2025. On that day, were there anyone speaking about sewer waste? When you received that call in January?
That's not what they originally called for.
So they didn't call for any type of septic problems or anything that the state is having in front of us today, correct?
Your Honor, I'm going to object as to hearsay.
Named.
Your Honor, I'm asking Mr. Fielder a direct question based on his investigation. He is investigating.
Mr. Tanner, you're kind of cutting in and out. The form of your last question anticipated the call and what was reported on the call, but what was reported on the call would be hearsay without having the person that made the call present to testify to it.
How did you investigate on that call, Mr. Fielder?
We attempted to locate the property.
Can you take me through that process of attempting to locate the property?
We received a phone call and then we drove out to an area that the caller described and attempted to locate what they were alleging.
And what did they allege?
They allege
the allegation, I'm assuming, Mr. Brown, that was an objection hearsay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And it is going to be granted, and I'll explain, Mr. Tanner. The form of that question again would ask Mr. Fielder to testify to what somebody else said. And unfortunately, that is hearsay. So he's not allowed to do that.
Correct. As the question I asked earlier, you went out there, you stated you went out to the property, correct?
I went to attempt to locate the property.
Did you locate the property?
Objection.
Not
I'm sorry, Mr. Brown. What was the objection?
I withdraw that objection. I withdraw it.
Okay, Mr. Fielder, you may answer that question.
Can you restate the question, Mr. Tanner?
Did you locate the property during your investigation, sir, physically?
On the date of January 3rd, 2025, we did not locate the property at that time.
Was there anything getting in the way of finding the property?
Can you restate it? You broke up, sir.
Was there anything at that moment stopping you from finding the property that was being investigated?
The information received in the call didn't have the correct location.
And you're looking for Dr. Malcolm Tanner's property, correct?
Can you state it again? You broke up.
You were looking for Dr. Malcolm Tanner's property, correct?
I was looking for property that is owned by you, sir. Yes.
Okay. And you say you've been at that office for over a little under 7 years, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you have the tools to locate property properly, normally, correct?
Yes.
If you use those tools to locate the property that's in question right now,
Yes.
but you did not find it, correct?
Not at that time.
Okay. Do you hold any licenses as a plumber or state worker that for the health department?
Objection.
No.
Question was, do you have any licenses as a plumber or for the health department? And Mr. Brown, you had an objection. What was the form of your objection?
Relevance.
Okay, overruled. You may answer the question, Mr. Fielder.
No, I do not.
Okay. So you wouldn't actually have any knowledge about sewage, plumbing, electrical, framing of homes, or anything in that nature, correct?
No, sir.
Because you did not go to school for this, and you do not have a license.
I do not have a license for sewage or plumbing or any of that.
So we can say that your testimony on how things are built, how things are plumbed, and how sewage is disposed should be thrown out, correct? Based on the lack of knowledge that you have.
Objection, Your Honor. Mr. Tanner's trying to reach a legal conclusion as to the authenticity of Deputy Fielder's testimony.
That's sustained. Mr. Tanner, you may ask a different question, but that particular question, the structure is improper.
Okay. You stated that in November of 2025, you went on to, as the attorney would say, the first property, correct?
No.
We are under penalties of perjury, correct, Your Honor?
He's under oath.
Okay.
He's aware of it, yes.
So, Mr. Fielder, earlier you stated to the state and to this court that you went on to, as what Mr. Brown would state as, the first property. And you gave us a statement earlier, less than 45 minutes ago, on how you went there for an injunction. And now you're telling us that you didn't do that, correct?
Objection, misrepresentation of the evidence. I'm not exactly sure what Mr. Tanner is trying to say the Deputy Fielder said, but
Your Honor, I'm just asking a question based off the statement he gave us earlier under penalties of perjury. He had gave a statement, and now his statement has completely changed from 45 minutes ago.
Once again, Your Honor, that's misrepresentation of the evidence.
I think there's some confusion about the timeline in this manner, or in this matter, excuse me. Mr. Tanner, I'll allow you to kind of ask questions to flesh out that timeline. I mean, to be clear, my understanding is that on the very first occasion that Mr. Fielder was called out, he was unable to locate the property. But at some point subsequent to that, and prior to the first time that we had a hearing in this matter, he was then able to locate the property. And again, we're talking about the first property, not second property. Although we should be talking about the second property because that's the basis of today's hearing. But that's my understanding, and I'll allow you, Mr. Tanner, if you'd like, to try and flesh out that timeline.
There's no problem. Mr. Brown submitted evidence of you going to the first property of a picture, correct? That you
Yes.
took.
Yes.
So you do have recollection of that, correct?
Yes.
Okay. At any point when you spoke earlier about the property at hand, the second property that we're here for today, can you describe the location one more time to the court of where that location of this second property that we're talking about today is located versus the first property?
So the property that you own is northeast of the, really more directly east, but it's across the pipeline clearing from your first property, sir.
Do you have to pass one property that I own to get to the other property that I own?
No, sir.
Is there a road leading from one property that I own to the other property that I own?
Yes.
Were you on that road in that picture?
Yes.
Didn't you just state that you do not have to cross the road to get to one property to the other?
The property to your first property and that road is actually located on somebody else's property. And the pipeline clearing is across, that's a pipeline easement clearing that's owned by an oil company. And across that pipeline clearing is the property that we're talking about today.
Your Honor, at this time, I'm going to object to this line of questioning as relevance. I'm not exactly sure what this has to do with the current alleged law violations of Mr. Tanner.
Your Honor, Mr. Fielder said he never been to this new property, but yet he just testified seconds ago that he was on the road that the new property is actually on. But earlier he said he never been on it, and then he said he has been on it. He has conflicting stories here.
Your Honor, if I may.
And if Mr. Fielder has been onto the property that's at hand, he would be a witness to anything that the state is claiming today. He has a camera on his chest today, and I'm sure on his vehicle that he used earlier. So he should have video footage of these claims that Mr. Brown has brought up today.
Your Honor, if I may respond to that.
Go ahead, Mr. Brown.
Mr. Tanner is misrepresenting the evidence once again. Deputy never testified that he never saw this property, never stepped on this property. Again, this line of questioning is irrelevant to the matter at hand.
Your Honor, that's exactly what Mr. Fielder said this morning when he first started his statement.
All right, we're going to
For
take
the record.
2 seconds, and I'm going to tell you what I recall. My recollection from Mr. Fielder's testimony was that he went out to the property, but did not go on to the property. Those are two different things. And so, in other words, I don't think either one of you is right or wrong in this particular instance. I think you're both just talking about two different things. I do also believe that this further line of questioning with regard to the property is irrelevant based on what I've just told you. So if we could move on to another topic of questioning, Mr. Taylor.
Thank you. No problem. Did you have a warrant to enter onto this property that's at question today? At any time? Did you receive a warrant from any judge in Loving County to enter my property?
Which property?
Yep.
Which property are you talking about, Mr. Tanner?
Any property that I own in Loving County, Texas, did you ever receive a warrant from a judge to enter any of these properties?
Now, I have never received a search warrant for any of your properties.
And you did enter both properties?
Your Honor,
No.
I'm going to object again, twofold. One, this is still irrelevant testimony. He's back on the same line of questioning it was before. Number two,
I'll
it's
move
completely
on, Your
wrong.
Honor. I'll move on.
And if I can complete my sentence, thank you. His questioning is now flipped. He is now saying he has stepped on his property. So he was just a minute ago saying he never stepped foot on his property. Once again,
Your objection is sustained, but Mr. Tanner has said that he'll move on. So let's go ahead and move on. I appreciate the objection, Mr. Brown. Go ahead, Mr. Tanner.
You said that there was a video that Mr. Brown showed earlier that showed a property valued at $150,000, correct?
Yes.
What does that represent to you?
What? Can you restate your question? You broke up, sir.
With your 6 years of skills as a sheriff deputy, when you watch that video and it said the property was valued at $150,000, what was I referring to in that video exactly?
Your Honor, once again, I have two objections to this. One, he's soliciting hearsay of his own prior testimony. And number two, I would object as I never admitted that exhibit. So he's testifying to evidence that's not been admitted, not on the record. He's not testifying to any evidence, essentially.
I'm going to sustain the objection at this time. Mr. Tanner, you may ask your next question.
All right. You also said that there was another video in there speaking on Dr. Malcolm Tanner giving away free homes, and you said you've seen that video, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that illegal to give away free homes?
No.
So it's not a crime being committed giving away a free home, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. Once again, this is irrelevant.
Your Honor, we are here because they're saying we have deceptive practices about free homes. It's literally in the state council's initial filings.
Mr. Tanner, you're not incorrect, but we are here on a temporary injunction, and the temporary injunction is related directly to the allegations of violations of the health and safety code, more so than the DTPA practices allegations. So in other words, in the long run, yes, we're going to cover that, but in the short run, and meaning today, it's really irrelevant. Does that make sense?
We can roll, no problem.
All right.
Mr. Fielder, Mr. Brown asked you about homes you would live in for free, correct?
No.
In the earlier statements from Mr. Brown, he asked the question in the form of, what type of home would you expect by getting a free home?
Yes, he did say that.
And he said you would want 4 walls and a roof and running water, correct?
Yes.
And you testified that there is no running water to any of these homes on these properties, correct?
Not to my knowledge, sir.
How do you come up with your conclusion that there's no running water?
That there's been no pipeline dug. There's no work orders from Loving County for water to your property, and also that the landowners around your property haven't granted anything like that.
Mr. Fielder, have you ever seen recreational vehicle before?
And can you state it again? I heard vehicle. What was the first part?
Have you ever seen a recreational vehicle before?
Are you stating, have I ever seen a recreational vehicle before?
RV, a mobile home? Have you ever seen those before?
Yes, I've seen the RVs on your property.
No, not on my property. I'm saying in general. Have you ever seen a RV or mobile home in general before?
Yes.
Do RVs come with a holding tank for water?
Yes.
Do RVs come with a holding tank for gray and black water, Mr. Fielder?
Yes.
When people have RVs, do they fill up their holding tanks with water, Mr. Fielder?
Yes.
And use property to the best of your knowledge does not have it in the holding tanks, correct?
Hold on, Mr. Tanner. We didn't catch any of that question. I'm gonna ask you, do you have access to the chat function on Zoom, Mr. Tanner?
I'm sorry, my Wi-Fi.
I understand, there's, bad Wi-Fi in different places. Do you have access to the chat on Zoom?
Yes, I do.
Okay. I'm going to propose that you, type your questions and I will ask them out loud. And then you'll indicate if I've incorrectly done that. And then that way we can get it on the record, okay?
Unfortunately, Your Honor, my keyboard is a little broke, so I can't text, unfortunately. So if there's any way I can proceed verbally, it would be more appreciated.
No, you can. We're just having to interrupt you multiple times. I was trying to find a solution for you. But you may proceed.
Thank you.
Can you restate your question?
Yes, my question is, you stated earlier that the RVs that on these properties did not have running water. But at the same time, you stated that every other RV have a holding tank that controls water that runs. Wouldn't that be conflicting?
What are you asking me?
Is there any reason, Mr. Fielder, the RVs that are owned by the majority of Black people and on that land somehow don't have the same functions that all other RVs have?
Can you reform your question?
I will reform it. There are a lot of Black people living in Loving County, Texas, on my property at this moment. And in open court, you're stating that the Black people that have RVs on my property, for some odd reason, does not have functioning RVs that all other colored of people around the world have. Is there any reason why you believe that the Black people that's living in Loving County on my property do not have the same functionings as other RVs?
I'm going to object, Your Honor, to relevance.
Hold on, Mr. Brown. Mr. Tanner, I'm going to stop you for a moment there. The testimony with regard to running water has been that there's not any running water that he's aware of. meaning piped water that comes in, meaning a well, meaning other things like that. He's not testified in any way about the functionality of the RVs that are on the property.
But wouldn't that be
The
running water,
insertion-
Your Honor?
Excuse me, sir. And the insertion of race into it has not been something that has been presented at any point in time up until your question right now. Running water, by the definition that Mr. Fielder is using, is water that is being piped in from a source outside of that RV, meaning a well, meaning a water station that's pumping through pipes, something to that effect. It is not in any way indicative of whether or not there is water in the holding tanks in the RV for use by the people in the RV. It's rather a question of, is there water running to the land where the RVs are at? That's what the testimony has been up to now. And I don't want you to take that testimony and twist it and make it seem as though there is a question of race or a question of functional RVs, because that's never been the testimony and never been the questions. An appropriate question to get to that might be, Mr. Fielder, have you ever in your investigation, have you actually looked at any of the RVs to see if they function normally? And he can answer that question if you asked it. But for you to take his current testimony and to simply assert it in such a manner as to create a race issue when there is none is completely inappropriate. And I'm going to stop you from doing that at this time, with or without Mr. Brown's objection. I understand what you're saying, Mr. Tanner, and I agree with you. RVs have holding water. You know, that's how it works. RVs also can be connected directly to running water. There are two different things here, and one does not preclude the other. I'm going to allow you to continue your line of questioning, but I'm not going to allow you to take the testimony that's been presented and present it in a light that is simply untrue as to what's been testified to. You may proceed, Mr. Tanner.
Mr. Fielder, you said that there is no septic tank to your knowledge on the property, correct?
Not to my knowledge.
Have you seen any sewage from septic from any of those RVs on the ground on any property?
On the previous property, there was a burn pit.
Mr. Fielder, I'm going to ask you this question again. Please answer it directly. Have you seen any septic waste on any of these properties that you have entered? Yes or no?
No.
How many times have you been on these properties, Mr. Fielder?
On either property or just one?
Either property.
On either property. Less than 5 times.
Can you tell us the months you've been on either property?
The last time I was on either of those properties, which I've only been to the first property, the one that's under the first injunction, I believe the last time I was on that property was on October 31st.
When were you aware that there were allegations of sewage problems at these properties?
We had received numerous phone calls to this office. Like I said, starting in January of 2025 on the first property. And people alleged in those phone calls that there were no running water, there was no electricity, there was no sewer, things of that sort.
Is it illegal to not have electric running from a pole to your home in Texas?
No.
Is it illegal to have no septic tank on your property?
No.
Are you familiar with an app called HipCamp?
Yes.
Did you investigate that app as well?
Yes.
During your investigation, did you find that this property stated that it had no septic tank?
Yes.
During that investigation, were there other properties on HipCamp that resembled the exact layout as my property, as far as no septic, as you would say?
Can you reform your question?
On HipCamp, there are several hosts in the state of Texas that state they have no running water, they have no electric, and they have no septic. Correct?
Yes.
Have you seen or been a witness to the state for any of those other people on HipCamp in Texas?
Have I been a witness for what?
For the same allegations that the state is claiming from me, as far as the septic allegations.
Your Honor, I'm going to object as to relevance again. I'm not sure what this has to do with the matter at hand.
Sustained.
Okay.
Mr. Tanner, I think a lot of your line of questionings are not irrelevant, again, with regards to the entirety of the suit, but we're here for a temporary injunction. And so really what we need to get to is whether or not there's a proper facilities at your on your current land.
Correct. I was only reacting the exact same questions to the degree that Mr. Brown asked Mr. Fielder without any interruption. I'm just only reacting certain questions that related to the ones that Mr. Brown asked Mr. Fielder. But I will move on. I have one more question for him, and I have no further questions after this last question.
All right.
Mr. Fielder, you stated that you've been to both properties and you said that there is no homes there, correct?
I have not been to your new property. I have not been on it. I've been adjacent to it, but I have not been on it. I have been on the original property, as stated earlier.
Can you tell the court what a home is?
A home is where somebody lives at, where you have full utilities, you would have hookups, you would have it would be a livable dwelling, somewhere that I would be able to deliver packages to. It would have a legal 911 address. It would have, I would be able to take deliveries there, any of that stuff. You know, I get an electric bill there. I get a sewer and water bill there. I get a gas bill there. Whenever I've owned residence in the past, that's been my experience.
Okay, so can I enlighten you with the Texas Penal Code 30.01? Habitation means a structure or vehicle that is adapted for overnight accommodations of a person. Wouldn't you agree that there is that right there on that property?
Can you read me back the penal code?
Your-
Is this in the definitions of the Texas Penal Code, or
Your
is
Honor.
this an actual statute?
Hold on one second, Deputy. Your Honor, I'm going to object as counsel is testifying from a record that's not been admitted into evidence. He's essentially trying to testify for the witness with this.
Sustained. Mr. Tanner, I'll allow you in your own person to make some testimony to this point that you're making.
Okay.
Anything else from Mr. Fielder?
No further questions.
All right. Is Mr. Fielder excused at this time?
Yes, Your Honor.
Subject to recall or no?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Tanner, do you want him subject to recall?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Fielder. Return back to the breakout room until I tell you otherwise.
Thank you, Your Honor. How do I return back?
Should still have the option to join it. You're just joining it again.
Do I just press the leave button?
I think leave's going to kick you off completely.
Okay. So, yeah. Trying to figure out where to go. Okay, got it.
Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Brown, let me call your next witness.
Your Honor, we have no further witnesses in the
Mr. Tanner, I want to give you as much time as you want to produce the record, but I do need, well, hold on, let me go backwards. Mr. Brown, you have no further witnesses. Are you resting at this time?
Yes, Your Honor, we rest.
Okay. Mr. Tanner, now would be the time that I'm going to have you present witnesses. I've got two options for you. You've indicated a large number of witnesses. I don't mind if you call every single one. But the issue that I've got really is that we can do that right now and stop at 12 o'clock, meaning you get through whoever you get through and we stop at 12 o'clock. Or we can break for lunch right now and I can have us rejoin on a Zoom at 1 o'clock, I guess. And we can do all of your witnesses. So I'm going to leave it up to you. Would you like to try and get this tackled before lunch, or do you want to have lunch and then come back and tackle yours?
We can have lunch and then come back.
Okay. I don't mind doing that. Then we're going to be in recess. I'm going to, for the sake of continuity, I'm going to keep the Zoom running, even though we're in recess. you should be able to log back on. You should be able to log out and log on as you want. And we should be able to join back up. Give me a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close the rooms and tell everybody the same thing. Takes 60 seconds or so for them to close. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you all got kicked out of rooms just now. What's happened is we're about to take a break for lunch. The Zoom is going to stay up and running. You should be able to log off and log back on as you choose. We're going to go back on the record at 1 o'clock, and we'll pick up Mr. Tanner's presentation of evidence at that time. So at this time, we are in recess. We'll pick up at 1 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Similar to before, if you're hearing me and you are a witness, I need you to go ahead and join the room that applies to you. Once more, if you're hearing me and you're a witness, I need you to join the room that applies to you. If you're just now joining us, if you're a witness, I need you to join the room that applies to you. Once more, if you're just now joining us and you can hear me, I need you to join the room that applies to you. One room is defense witnesses, the other is state's witnesses. If you are just watching, if you are not testifying, you may remain where you're at, but otherwise, I do need you to join the original room or the room that you're assigned to. Once more, if you're joining us, I need you to join the room you're assigned to, unless you are simply watching and not participating.
in which case you can stay right where you're at. All right, before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and call the cause number, get announcements from the parties, and then we're going to clean up what we've got on the, in terms of viewers and participants. Well, court calls cause number 25-151-D CCV -0053, State of Texas versus Malcolm Terrell Tanner. We're coming back from a lunch break. It is 1:03, and it is about to be Mr. Tanner's turn to present his case. All right, I've got a Motorola Moto G5G-2024. Who is that? Motorola Moto G5G 2024. I need you to start your video and tell me who you are. All right, hearing no response, I'm placing that individual back in the waiting room. Brad McCloskey.
Judge, that's my ranger. He's just watching.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Stogner. I have an unnamed Zoom user. I believe we had one earlier that was just a watcher. Are you just a watcher, ma'am? Unnamed Zoom user, are you just a watcher? Last time, unnamed Zoom user, are you just a watcher? Hearing no reply, placing that individual back in the waiting room. Devendra Karuth, I believe you had stated previously that you were just a watcher. Is that correct?
Yes,
Thank you, ma'am. And Erica Marshall, I believe you stated the same. Is that correct?
that is correct.
Okay, thank you, guys. All right, Mr. Tanner, who would you like to call first?
Your Honor, I would like to revisit the state witness for clarity, if possible.
You want to call the state's witness?
Yes.
Your Honor, Mr. Deputy Fielder had to go on an emergency warrant service. We asked him to keep his cell phone on so we can try and reach him, but there was a matter of some urgent police business, so we can try and reach out to him and see if we can get him back on right now.
I'm aware of that. It's not related to this case at all.
Yeah.
Mr. Tanner, we can try to get him back, but while we're waiting, why don't you call another witness?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna pass on my witnesses at this moment. I don't have any witnesses at this moment. I'm gonna release all those witnesses. I need to speak with Mr. Fielder again.
Okay.
We'll reach out to Mr. Fielder right now, Your Honor, and see if we can't get him in a position where he can make himself present here shortly. Just a few minutes. While we're waiting, if we could, there's one matter of business I'd like to bring up, and that is if we could get the court's assistance in getting a good address for Mr. Tanner. The address that we had been using that was on the filings, we just got returned mail stating that it was vacant, and so I'm wanting to ensure we have a good record for service, or good address for service.
Mr. Tanner, we do need a good address for you. I think we initially, or not initially, but eventually ended up having to serve you via Facebook posting or Facebook message. So if I can get a good address for you.
Yeah, you can, it'll be 203 South Water Street, Crawfordsville, Indiana.
I'm sorry, that was South Water Street, is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
And you said Crawfordsville?
Yes, 47933.
Thank you.
Your Honor, if I may, I just got off the phone with Deputy Fielder. He said he's trying to immediately get on right now from his phone.
Very well. We'll keep a lookout for him. We're not going to take a recess. We're just going to stay in a holding pattern. Mr. Tanner, you've got several witnesses that you're saying you're releasing. Would you like them to join the Zoom call as viewers only?
Yeah, they most definitely can if they want.
Okay. Okay, all the breakout rooms will close in 52 seconds. The defense has released its witnesses. The state has released its witnesses. Defendant has recalled Officer Clinton Fielder. We are attempting to get him online for a defense witness.
Hello?
Officer Fielder, I know that we can't see you at this juncture because of your location and cell service.
Yes, sir.
Is that you, though?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. Mr. Fielder, you're still under oath from previously today. Mr. Tanner
Yes,
has some follow-up questions he'd like to ask you.
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Tanner.
Thank you. Mr. Fielder, has anyone from the Texas Health Department contacted you about any illegal dumping of waste on my properties?
Objection, hearsay.
I'm going to overrule it as a yes or no question. Without stating what has or hasn't been told to you, Mr. Fielder, you may answer the question as a yes or no.
My answer to that question is no.
Mr. Fielder, you are you sworn an oath to protect and serve, correct?
Yes.
And that would be from imminent harm and irreparable harm to citizens out there in Texas?
Yes.
Okay. You made a statement earlier that you have seen or driven to or around these properties in questions over the last 11 months, correct?
Yes.
You also made a statement that you've seen no imminent and irreparable harm by any waste being dumped on the ground, correct?
Objection, he's misrepresenting prior testimony.
The objection's overruled. I'm going to allow Mr. Fielder to answer the question.
Yes, sir.
Can you restate the question?
In the last 11 months, you made the statement that you have been to my properties around, on, or about. In the same statement, you made a sworn testimony that you've seen no sewer or waste dumping in those 11 months of viewing, seeing, or being around these properties, correct?
Yes.
When you was on the property or around these properties, were there any possibilities that you seen any imminent or irreparable harm done to any Texans in that county?
Yes.
Can you state what it was?
On the current property that you are residing, that the trailers are located on, Mr. Tanner, the location of those trailers appear to be on top of a oil pipeline.
So for clarity, Mr. Fielder, your testimony is that the irreparable harm and imminent harm is that trailers are on top of a oil pipeline, correct?
Well, that's what I've seen out of the first property, Mr. Tanner. Or I'm sorry, I have seen that on the second property.
And you did not see any imminent or irreparable harm because of sewer waste dumping, as the state has claimed, correct?
I have not seen any waste on the ground at any human waste at either property on the ground.
Thank you. Is there a law set in Texas for officers like yourself to have a body cam on when being in contact with the public?
I'm going to object to relevance on this.
It's very relevant, Your Honor. We are talking about a case where there is supposed to be sewer on the ground or a possibility of sewer waste on the ground. The officer has a camera that's been on the property several times throughout 11 months. He should be able to state that he has that evidence.
Your Honor, he's already testified he hasn't seen any sewer waste on the ground.
I'm going to grant the objection in this particular case, but Mr. Tanner, what I would kind of suggest to you is that, again, we're here on a temporary basis. The existence or lack thereof of video evidence is something that should be handled during discovery on these two items, on these two cases. As far as I can tell, discovery has begun on one case, but not the other. Is that correct, Mr. Brown?
Your Honor, I believe everything's been finalized in the first case. In this case, we have begun to send discovery requests to Mr. Tanner. That is correct.
We still have pending motions in the last.
I'm aware of that as well, Mr. Tanner. But with regard to discovery, it is something that you might keep in mind in terms of your abilities to request discovery from the state of Texas. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
You may ask your next question, Mr. Tanner.
One second. Mr. Fielder, has the state attorneys contact you prior to today's hearing?
Objection, work product privilege.
I'm just asking a question.
Sustained, though. The state's allowed to contact its witnesses.
Okay. Mr. Fielder, have you ever been coerced to tell a false statement by the state of Texas?
Objection, this is.
It's a fair question, Your Honor. It's a yes or no question.
It is irrelevant.
It's a yes or no question, Your Honor. It's a fair question. He's
Mr. Tanner, you gotta let him make his objection.
Okay.
And I'll make a ruling on it.
Your Honor, I'm going to object threefold. Number one, this is not relevant. Number two, this is objectionable under 403 as far more prejudicial than it is probative. And I'm also going to say this is improper, his implicit accusation as to what the state of Texas is doing here.
So the issue that arises, Mr. Brown, I believe, is this. It is, as presented by Mr. Tanner, simply a yes or no question. There's actually, I believe, more implicit bias from your objection than there is from simply allowing Mr. Fielder to answer whether or not he feels he's ever been coerced by the state of Texas. Now that the question has been asked, it's out in the public because this is a public hearing. To not allow Mr. Fielder to answer it would simply imply that the answer is yes, as opposed to giving him the opportunity to say yes or no.
Yes,
so I'm going to overrule it, but I understand your objection, Mr. Brown.
Thank you.
Mr. Fielder, you may answer the question.
Mr. Tanner, can you restate it for me?
Yeah, I will restate it very slow so you can hear me. Have you at any time ever been coerced by the state of Texas to tell a lie in court?
No.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else, Mr. Tanner?
I do got one more question, and then I'm gonna rest. Mr. Fielder, I believe on the penalty of perjury, you have made a sworn affidavit that you were a witness of organized crime on this property, correct?
State that again.
Under penalties of perjury, you have made a sworn statement in open court, and you made the statement that you were a witness to organized crime on these properties. Is that correct?
Your Honor, I'm going to object as relevance again. This has nothing to do with this case.
And Judge, this is Sarah Stogner, the district attorney. I'm just listening. I haven't made an appearance, but I would object to any
Your Honor,
discussion
we
of
have
any
a whole
ongoing
person that's not even
investigation.
a part of this case speaking. Can we get her off the mic, please?
Hold on, Mr. Tanner. I understand your question. Between the Attorney General's objection and the state of Texas objection that this is an ongoing case that hasn't been filed, or potentially an ongoing case that hasn't been filed, I am going to grant the objection and instruct Mr. Fielder that he does not have to answer that question.
Your Honor, isn't this in the filing? And isn't this what actually opened this TRO to begin with? Isn't that in the state's filing?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure on what exact affidavit you're referring to. It hasn't been entered into evidence. I don't have it in front of me in any form. It's quite possibly in the file, but again, I don't have that in front of me. So if you want to introduce it as evidence.
The state claims that Tanner and his co-conspirators to plan organized crime activity. The state asks the courts to enjoin Tanner from continuing these illegal activities and access civil penalties. This is what the state has put in the petition to file.
All right, so
Do you have any questions, or your boss has any questions, anything like that? Like I said,
I'm gonna mute you for a second, Mr. Fielder. I'm getting background noise from your other activities. The state's filing against you does talk about criminal activities, but those criminal activities are limited in scope to the violations of health and safety code, as well as the claims under the DTPA.
Your Honor, isn't that
there may be, and I'm not aware one way or the other, but the fact that the district attorney made a brief appearance on the record leads me to believe that it's possible that there are other investigations that are ongoing. And the reason that I'm instructing Mr. Fielder not to answer that question is that it's unclear as to which you're referring to. If you're simply referring to the filings that the AG has made, that's one thing. If you're referring to something
that's what I'm
outside
referring
of
to,
those
Your Honor.
filings.
That is exactly what I'm referring to.
Okay. Just want to make sure we're clear on that. The court takes judicial notice of the filings within this case, meaning that means, Mr. Tanner, that I'm taking notice that those filings exist and that they're on the record. And if you want to ask questions on that basis, you may do so.
Thank you.
But simply be very careful about your wording, because if there's any suggestion that we're talking about anything outside of that, then again, I'm going to instruct the witness not to answer on the basis of an ongoing investigation that the district attorney has already raised objection to.
Okay. Mr. Fielder, the AG stated that these properties that's on display today that we're here while we're here, or at least this property, is used for a meeting place for Tanner and his co-conspirators.
Objection, Your Honor. He's reading from the wrong petition for the wrong case. That is not in this petition. That is completely a misrepresentation.
That's my concern. And I'm going to grant that objection. That's the issue that we run into, Mr. Tanner. Is that
Your Honor, this was filed 11/13/2025 on e-file at 4:01 p.m.
That's delightful. It's still not the right case.
What cause is it filed under, Ms. McGee?
The one that he's referring to is the case ending in 5-0. The one we're here for today is the one ending in 5-3.
That's correct, Mr. Tanner.
Okay. Thank you for the clarity. No further questions.
All right. Are you resting at this time, Mr. Tanner?
I do rest.
Okay. Does the state have any rebuttal witnesses they wish to call?
No, Your Honor.
Rest and close.
Yes, Your Honor, we would rest, I will give a brief closing.
Okay, give me a second. I want to make sure Mr. Tanner's close too, and then I'll let y'all both have a closing argument. Mr. Tanner, are you resting in closing as well?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now, Mr. Brown, go ahead and make your closing argument for the state.
Yes, Your Honor. What we have here is an individual who decided to manipulate and misrepresent his intentions to the masses. He came down to Loving County, bought property up that he had never verified.
Objection, Your Honor.
Hold on, Mr. Tanner, this is argument. What's the
All right,
basis
all
of your objection? Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Brown. You may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. What we have is a blatant misrepresentation of what Mr. Tanner actually would provide. He promised homes and he provided homelessness. Not only did he promise homes, but he provided a health and safety crisis, essentially. Under both the DTPA and the Health and Safety Code that we are alleging that he violated here, all we need for this injunction is even a threatened violation. But I'd argue we have even more than that on both. Under the DTPA, all you have to do is have a misrepresentation that the ignorant and the unthinking of society would consider to be one fact, and then he changes it up on them later. That's all you would need. It's not even a reasonable person standard. If someone looks at his advertisement on social media that says free homes, as we've shown in our exhibits and that we've shown through the testimony of Deputy Fielder, and they get there and they don't have what they are expecting when they get there, that right there's a misrepresentation. He's done this countless times. He's posted so many times on social media. These individuals are living on RVs on his property with no proper plumbing hookups, no sewer hookups. Heaven knows what's happening with that sewage. We don't know. Yes, Deputy Fielder did testify. Oh, I didn't see any. Absolutely. Okay, cool. That doesn't get rid of the fact that this is a threatened violation because we still don't know what happens with that. Deputy Fielder testified that there's a little bit less than maybe 20 individuals on that property right now. All that waste has to go somewhere. And whether or not Mr. Tanner wants to say, oh, it's bottled up, we're keeping it in sewage tanks on the property, that's all well and good. It's not being disposed of properly. That's still a violation. I believe we have clear violations on both ends here, Your Honor. I believe that has been shown through our evidence. And I would ask that you grant a temporary injunction until trial on this matter.
All right, Mr. Tanner, you may give your closing argument.
What we have here, Your Honor, is the state showing their hand of pure racism. Here comes an African American to the least populated county in the United States of America with 0 African Americans in the county. As testimony from Mr. Fielder, he stated he had received several phone calls in the month of January of 2025, so many that he couldn't even recall. And from January 2025 to present day, he was receiving phone calls just because a Black man bought property. And because a Black man bought property inside of a county where there has been no Black owners in the county. Now, all of a sudden, the state of Texas, without one witness, including Mr. Fielder, that has went under oath of penalty and perjury and stated against what Mr. Brown and the state of Texas have been claiming, that for 11 months, he's been on, off, and around this property. He has smelled the air. He has walked on the ground. He has video evidence from him being an officer of the law in Texas. And there has not been one form of evidence of anything that the state is making a claim on. The state has literally thrown up a rock and hoping that it hits something. Unfortunately for them, it's nothing to hit because your key witness has already stated that there is no imminent harm or irreparable harm going on this property, which meets the merits of making sure that this injunction even stay legit. Your Honor, I ask this court for not just the people of Loving County, not just the people of the state of Texas, but for the United States citizens that are watching this and are planning to buy property, and understand that if you buy property in an all-white county, as the state AG stated before, that is worth about $5 trillion, there may be a possibility that the state may come against you with false claims and narratives that may cause you yourself imminent and irreparable harm. I will ask the court to dismiss and dissolve all matters in this case. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Brown, do you want to rebut?
I would love to, Your Honor. Practically every single sentence that Mr. Tanner brought up was inaccurate and a misrepresentation of what has actually been said in this case. Anyone who's been sitting in this virtual trial and watching can see just how he is showing a pattern here. He's misrepresenting every ounce of argument, every exhibit in this case. And he's continuing this pattern of misrepresentation right here. He is showing it for everyone to see. And because of that, along with his closing argument, I would ask that this court grant our temporary injunction.
All right, court makes the following findings. I do find that the evidence that's been presented today meets the burden that the state has in order to get the injunction that's been requested. Specifically, the issue that arises, the two issues that arise that Mr. Brown has discussed and that go to the finding of the court. The first being misrepresentation. Do find that the evidence that was submitted shows misrepresentation. It may not be, well, it's a misrepresentation. To what degree it is something that we can talk about and argue about later. The other issue that arises is one of public health and safety. It is true that RVs contain their own internal, often, not always actually, but often contain their own internal tanks for fresh water, gray water, black water. Those being sewage, water that's used post, or water that's stored post showers and dishwashing and stuff like that, and then water that's actually consumable. But those items, even though they can and sometimes are contained within RVs, do not take away from the landowner, in this case, Mr. Tanner, the responsibility to make sure that there are appropriate systems in place on his land for the disposal of such waters, and then also for the continuing supply of fresh water. So those are responsibilities that simply aren't being met right now, and the threats, very clear threats under the Health and Safety Code, warrant the granting of the state's injunction pending trial in the matter. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a long day. Thank you very much for your participation. Mr. Tanner, I want to thank you for your participation. Mr. Brown, I want to thank you for your participation. Miss McGee, I want to thank you for your participation. It is very easy to look across the aisle and paint this in terms of black and white. But this is not a situation where race is the underlying issue. The underlying issues are the two issues that have been raised by the state and that the court has found that there's sufficient evidence of. So at this time, that is the ruling of the court, and the court does grant the injunction and will note any exceptions that you make, Mr. Tanner, meaning that all your objections are still on the record. But otherwise, we are finished today. Thank you all, and you're all dismissed.
Your Honor, before we go, could we discuss scheduling for the permanent injunction hearing on this matter? So given our current schedule, my co-counsel, Ms. McGee, has a plethora of trials that are coming up on the new year. And if I recall our conversation correctly, Lauren, we are asking for end of April. We know that's a very long period of time, but given scheduling issues on her end, as well as we are needing sufficient time to conduct discovery, those would be our reasonings for a little bit of an extent to the next hearing on this.
All right. What about April 22nd? That's a Wednesday. And this will be in person. The court will not do another Zoom hearing in this matter.
Yes,
Yes.
and we appreciate the court doing so today. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is April 22nd okay with you guys?
It is with us if it is with Mr. Tanner.
Mr. Tanner, can you be present on the 22nd of April?
Actually, I have some obligations in the whole month of April, actually. Is there any way we can have it sooner than April?
Perhaps the last week in March. I think some of this is going to depend on if Mr. Tanner timely responds to discovery requests, or if we get into having situations where we have to compel and things like that.
I do have an afternoon on March 25th that's currently available.
Okay. If that would work for Mr. Tanner, we can make that work.
Will that work for you, Mr. Tanner?
Is there any way we can have something in January? Any possibility?
January is booked, solid on my end already. I believe the state has indicated that they're not available until at the earliest this late March date.
That'll work then. I'll make it work.
Okay. All right. I've got us down then March 25th, 2026 at 1 p.m.
Thank you, Your
Okay.
Honor. We will provide a proposed order for you this afternoon, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right. I appreciate everybody's work in this. Again, thank you for your civility, and you're all dismissed at this